Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's Transparency Thursday. In today's episode, we will discuss a very often asked question about Desserto's ability to partially biodegrade. What does it mean that it's only partially biodegradable? And how does it look like when the life of a Desserto product ends? What happens then?
We follow the global fashion agenda guidelines to help the industry reduce its environmental footprint and to get back to work within the planetary boundaries before 2030. So what we do with our materials is to help the brands to achieve those goals in two main ways. There is the recycled way of doing it, and there is the biodegradable way of doing it. So there are two. The first one is by recovering fibers that are already out there in landfills and oceans, transforming them into another material that can have a second life. And the other one is by doing materials that are going to reduce the waste accumulation by being biodegradable. So we work in these two lines. All of our materials have the capability of biodegrade. The percentage of biodegradability depends on the kind of material that we custom made for our customer to cover the specific needs. Sometimes our customer says, "Oh, I want the Desserto Cactus material to be mixed with polyester, but I don't want the polyester to be virgin. I want it to be recycled." So then we have to work with a non-biodegradable fiber, but then we make sure it is recycled. In that sense, we can give our customer a material that has partially biodegradable material because normal polyester, is not biodegradable. Now, we have other materials that have, for example, recycled cotton backing or virgin backing of cotton, and also some other alternatives that we have developed, which are like biodegradable polyester, which we already have as an option. And so in that sense, that material is going to have a higher biodegradable percentage. Now, the material has some parts that are quicker to biodegrade and others that are going to take longer.
Yes.
We measure this under a very sophisticated lab test in the United States, in which we are able to break down the carbon content of our material in two ways. We get the petrochemical carbon content, and we get the plant-based carbon content, the organic carbon content, which is only for the plant content. So we have materials that account for 60%, 50%, 40%, 30%, 20%, and 10%, or organic carbon content from plants. What depends many things. The kind of backing that the customer needs for its application, the thickness of the material, because the thinner it is, the less raw materials you can put in. Also, the other additives that we use. We have additives like organic pigments, and we don't use never synthetic dyeing additives. We use the most environmentally friendly, but sometimes these are not going to biodegrade as fast as the cactus or as fast as cotton. It will take longer. So when we say partially biodegradable, it's because we only are referring to those organic carbon content that is going to biodegrade very fast. I'm talking about an average of 800 days. We are currently running the third-party lab test to actually have the right numbers and compare Desserto versus polyurethane versus PVC, and then have the right numbers from a lab with the right tests to compare in days. Okay, so in 400 days, our material biodegrades at maybe 80% versus PU. And then in the other test, which is 1,000 330 something days, then we can compare that with others like PVC, and then say, okay, so our material at that time maybe is going to be biodegraded like in almost in its totality in landfill conditions, anaerobic landfill conditions, versus PVC that only maybe like 3%. So it's that's the
huge
thing
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all in all, it's biodegradable to 100% over time. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you liked this video. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below and see you next week.